guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have for you guys today is a pretty easy acrylic painting tutorial. So this is the painting that I'll be showing you guys how you can recreate. So it's this simple blue night sky with a moon in the back and this twisted colorful tree that is kind of growing out of the clouds. And also there's these, I don't know if you can see, these little raindrops that are attached to the cloud. So I'll be showing you guys how you can do all of this. And just a quick disclaimer, everything I'll be showing you guys is just my way of painting things really in a simple way. So as you can see, this painting, you get the idea that this is clouds and that this is a moon and things like that, but it's not the most realistic thing ever. So if you're looking to paint things really realistically, I wouldn't say that my way is the best way. But for this painting, my goal was not to make things extremely realistically. I just wanted the person that is looking at my painting to understand that it's, for example, the concept or the idea of a moon and the idea of a cloud and things like that. So the style that I was going for in this painting was a really simple yet colorful acrylic painting that is simple and that you can understand without having to work too much on it, because in my opinion it's hard to work a lot on an acrylic painting because the paint just dries so fast that it's hard to do a lot of different gradients and details and things like that. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Before getting into the tutorial, I'm just gonna show you guys the material that I used. So you're gonna need a canvas that's about, I'd say 35 centimeters by 27.5 centimeters. I know it's kind of specific, but find a canvas, if you want it to be this size, find a canvas that's around that dimension. So in the Craft Smart, I'll say collection, you're gonna need some turquoise, some black paint, some white paint, some bright blue. Then I have these little bottles, and this one is Mediterranean blue. And I'm also using Ocean Breeze. So these are all the colors that I decided to use for a Craft Smart. I got all of these, all of this paint from Michaels. It's very inexpensive and they're, in my opinion, very good quality. Then from the Folk Art brand, I don't know why for the other one I said collection, I meant brand. I know they look similar, but the paint is actually pretty different. I believe that this one is much darker, even though the bottles look the same. So this one is, it's called True Blue. And then this one is called, it's called Ultramarine Blue. So I also used both of these. Then I got this paint, which is a silver paint. It's called Silver Morning. And I got it from my local dollar store, and I had tried it out before using it for this painting just to see how it is, and it was actually really good quality, surprisingly. So I decided to use it in this painting just to give my painting kind of more of a glow and a shimmer to it. Also, all the paintbrushes that I'll be using in this video I got from Michaels, because if you haven't caught on yet, Michaels is pretty much my second home. Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, let's get into it. So to start this painting, I decided to outline what I wanted to paint on my canvas, and I didn't bother trying to draw the details because eventually all of what I'm drawing will be covered by our base coats. So I simply drew the main aspects of my painting just to give myself an idea of where everything will be placed. Then I took the black and blue acrylic paint and I put it on the cardboard plate, and I created a navy blue color by mixing a little bit of black into the blue to darken it. Now I'll take a brush with either a square tip or an angled tip and start painting the navy blue everywhere on your canvas, but don't cover the area where there will be your moon, so the big circle basically. And after I finished with the layer, I waited for it to dry and then proceeded to make another layer because I found that the base coat that I had done was a little bit see-through, but that just depends on the kind of paint that you're using. So if you decide not to do a second layer, then you don't have to wait for the first one to dry before moving on to the next step. Now this part is quite tricky, so really pay attention to what I'm doing because it's easier to explain it to you by demonstrating it rather than trying to explain it with words. So now you're going to need a smaller square brush, or once again an angled brush, and take some white paint and start outlining the moon. Then with some navy blue, paint a little bit over the white area to mix the two and create a lighter blue color. Then take some more navy blue and paint a little over the lighter color to mix the two and create a less light navy blue. And then continue on like that until you get a color gradient that goes from white to navy blue. Then take some black paint and paint the bottom corners of the canvas and blend some navy blue to it to create another color gradient going from navy blue to black. Now pour some black and white paint on your plate and mix them to create a dark gray. Then with this color, paint over your moon. Once this layer is dry, we will start painting the details of the moon, and honestly the easiest way to paint the moon is to find a picture of it and try to recreate it. The moon that I painted isn't identical to the actual moon, and that was actually the style that I was going for, because all I wanted for the person who is looking at my painting is for them to understand that it's the moon without having to recreate it perfectly, because they just need to understand that it's the idea of a moon. So in general, painting the moon consists mainly of painting patches of different gray tones and slightly mixing them together. Also, later on in this process, to create a more earthy look to the moon, I decided to dab my paintbrush on the canvas rather than slide it. Once your moon is dry, we can go on to the third part of this painting, which is the clouds. And you'll need a much smaller paintbrush with a round tip. Now with some very dark gray, make a line that represents the bottom of your clouds and then start lightly outlining the clouds with some lighter gray, just to give yourself a mental idea of how they're going to be placed. Right after you've done that, cover them up with that same gray color. Once that area is completely covered and dry, start outlining once again your clouds with some darker gray. And also keep in mind that the light that the moon is projecting only hits the top of the clouds, so the bottom of the clouds are going to be much darker. Then go ahead and take the same color that you used to paint the bottom of the clouds and start putting some at the bottom of every section of cloud. Once again, pay attention to what I'm doing. It might help you understand a little bit more because this part is kind of tricky to explain. Afterwards, blend the dark gray that you added and then make some light gray and put it on the top of the clouds and then blend it with that darker gray. Now, once every section of cloud is a nice color gradient, going from very dark gray to much lighter gray, and also now that your clouds have more dimension to them, make an even lighter gray and put it on the top of the clouds where the light that's coming from the moon hits the most, and then do some more blending. Also, for this part, when you're using the lightest gray, I found that it gave a nice texture to the clouds if you make circular motions with your paintbrush. Once everything is dry, we can start painting the tree, which is one of the easiest steps because we're basically going to be layering a lot. So make some dark gray and add some light blue to it to make a bluish gray color, and then outline the tree trunk and the branches. I'm making some diagonal lines on the tree trunk to give it an effect of a twist, as if the tree grew while twisting itself. Go over the lines that you made with some lighter gray and some more bluish gray colors. And also, I had fun with this part by using some silver paint to give the tree kind of a glow or a shimmer. And then I just kept adding layers of different colors, but try to stay in the gray and navy blue tones. And then pour many different kinds of blue paints on your plate and make some leaves on your tree branches. Once everything is dry, I took a thin paintbrush and made some lines with the silver paint because I found that my tree wasn't very shimmery, and also I made some silver leaves. And finally, the last parts of this painting. To make the raindrops, you'll need a very small paintbrush with either a round or pointed tip. Then take some black paint and make a line around one side of the raindrop, and then dip your paintbrush in clean water just to wet it a little bit, and then start slightly smudging the black paint inwards, so inside of the raindrop. Then trace the other half of the raindrop with white and smudge it as well with a little bit of water, but make sure that the middle of your raindrop stays a little bit navy blue. Then with some white paint, simply make a small dot or a line on the black side of the drop, and after you're done painting all your raindrops, take a very thin brush and dip it in some gray paint to make the lines that connect the drops to the clouds. I decided to add this to make it look like the drops are attached to the clouds or almost hanging on to them. Then paint some small white dots in the sky to represent the stars, sign your canvas, and there you go, you're all done. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like that, like tutorials and time lapses and things like that, just subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions or questions, just leave them in the comment below and I'll make sure to answer them. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!